morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever you're watching this, we're here on YouTube, on the YouTube live. It is Tuesday morning here, June 17th, 2025, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm here, and I'm very tired. Had a long night last night, a lot of work, but I'm good. I'm awake now. You may be asking, well, who is this son of a bitch talking? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the pundit of the people, the man with the plan, Big Ray here to stay. We talk some Lucha Libre today. That's your Spanish lesson, by the way, for wrestling. And I'm not alone. As you can see, Jimmy T is not here yet.
I could be Jimmy T for a few minutes, mate.
Well, yeah. So you got fucking Rick Vickery here. What's going on there, Rick?
RBT here, mate. Good to check in with you from down under.
All right.
Hey, you know, we're running a little bit late, Ray, because I didn't realize the thumbnail says 2024, so we're a year behind here.
No fucking way. Did I put
but you know what?
Thumbnail up?
I knew what you were doing subconsciously, because you even going back 1 year, Goldberg was that much cooler a year ago than he is this year, so it's a little bit more exciting to have him back.
God. The thumbnail does say 2024. Jesus Christ.
Hey, I got you out, dude. Goldberg, even 1 year ago, was 10 times more exciting than he is right now.
Jeez, nobody could have told me that. Fucking the 8 people that retweeted the damn thing.
I just noticed it this morning.
Jesus Christ. I hate that shit. Now I gotta fucking go back and fix it. Even though I'm not gonna, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna leave it like that. Who cares? You guys are here. God, that pisses me off.
They know what's going on.
Who the fuck is this?
From 2024. Up to 88 miles per hour and flipping that switch on the flux capacitor to get here. He is back to the future.
I just want to say, first of all, happy anniversary to you and your awesome bride, Ray.
Cool.
So I had to put it out there.
I just got divorced this week. What are you talking about?
That's how far you are behind, Jimmy.
That's how far behind I am, obviously. What am I behind on then, fellas? What are we doing? What's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just literally started the show.
And we already finished the Raw recap.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So, Jimmy, what you got coming up next, Jimmy? You could promote your social media. We're going home. No, this freaking Rick Vickery just told me that the damn thumbnail said fucking 2024.
Oh, shit, it does too. I never noticed that until now.
God damn it.
But as I told him, Jimmy, he has it out because even 1 year ago, Goldberg was 10 times cooler than he is today.
Hey, you know what though? I will say he got a massive pop, man.
Everybody got a fucking massive pop. Nikki Bella got a pop. Fucking
massive pops for everybody. I got a massive pop right here.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
And don't forget
what?
CM Punk promises we're going to get a spit roast of John Cena on Friday night. That's what he said. It didn't come out of my mouth. It came out of his.
Isn't that where you kind of get it on both sides? You know?
I don't know. He's a big fan of lamb, I hear.
I'm a vegetarian. Then you will eat lamb. You know,
sorry.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding? No?
Yeah, no Udo for you, Ray.
You'll have lamb. Anyway. What's going on, guys? Jimmy, for those that don't know, this is Jimmy T from the PWC. Our brother from down under. He's here, and that's so wild that you're wearing a Yankee sweater and I'm wearing a Yankee shirt, and Rick Vickery's wearing his girlfriend's underwear.
Woo! On the outside of my pants, I'm Superman styling that shit today.
It's fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. Let's say hi. Let me see who's in the chat real quick, guys. You know, it's pretty early in the morning. We got Chris Winland, who throws us the old
yes boy.
Michael Vasquez is here, the dancer when it has one Dan Heffron. We have lovely Elizabeth Yee. We have the master and ruler of the world, Zane Vicious. He's actually with us. He says Throdeberg. What else we got here? Frank Picklebarras is here. Let me see. All right, I think that's it for now. Wait, no, Kevin Marty. He's here. And of course, usually as the show goes on, more people are gonna just jump in. That's how we roll. But maybe they won't. Maybe they'll see the stupid 2024 on the goddamn thumbnail. They're like, oh, this is an old video. Why should I tune in? God.
That's all right. I think people would have figured it out.
Think so?
I think so. Well, I didn't even notice. Straight up, I saw the thumbnail, but I didn't notice it until Rick pointed it out.
Whatever. I'm fucking cranky this morning, guys.
I like a cranky Ray. It's good. The crankier, the better.
A little cranky Ray. Let's see if we can get you in a good mood, man.
All right. So I guess what we can do is anything you want to talk about before we talk wrestling? Anything on your minds?
Not for
I
me.
had a question for you, Ray. A little history lesson, if you will, a little insight into the background of Big Ray. Your pops, as you second generation tie into professional wrestling, your pops laced up them boots, got in the squared circle, mixed it up.
Yeah.
Did he do that while you and your siblings were alive, or did he hang up the boots before starting the family?
No,
Okay.
No, I was alive. I was very young though.
Okay.
My brothers that are 10 years my senior got to, like they thought it was the coolest thing in the world. They got to actually see him wrestle. Like I could vaguely remember it, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being around certain wrestlers or stuff, but nothing like, I don't have any concrete memories that maybe a 10-year-old would have had. That makes sense?
Gotcha. Yeah,
It's kind of
absolutely.
like what happens. Kind of like what happened with you in the Catholic Church.
Well,
A lot of,
I remember all of that, especially when the priest took me to trial. I didn't wait for them to make the move. I jumped that gun.
Oh, shit.
That's why
Priest, nuns, I jumped that gun, man. I'm gonna get me some.
that's why Rick, Jimmy. That's why Rick can't go to one of those Greek parties. People all wearing robes. He gets fucking flashbacks.
No toga parties for Rick?
No, as soon as the guys walk in, he just falls to his knees. Anyway,
Fall their knees and pray.
Yo, why you so red,
Jesus
bro?
Christ.
Me?
Yeah, you got a son? What the hell?
Little son from the track this week.
Little son, you like a lobster, brother.
Little son from the track this week.
You look good. Damn, I haven't had a Coke. I haven't had a soda in like fucking 6 months. Anyway,
Oh, so
6
delicious.
months? That's good.
probably about 6 months I haven't had a soda, like a soda. Anyway, cares?
This comment in the chat's funny.
who cares? What are they saying? What are you guys saying? in the
This
chat?
says he pulls a Madonna in like a prayer.
Hold on, I forgot to put the gimmick and the schneebits up here. Let's see if this works. All right, you know what? Why don't we just jump right into it, folks? I got to get some energy up. I want to take a big swig of the soda. And while I do that, we could talk some pro wrestling news. All right, so I don't know if you want to do the whole Liv Morgan gimmick now or save it for Monday Night Raw. I guess we can get more into it. If you guys didn't know, Liv Morgan got hurt yesterday, but we'll save it for that portion of the show. But we'll give you an update, and who knows? Maybe in the next half hour when we get to it, there'll be even more information. But I have plenty of information here. But something that you didn't know, old Rick and Jimmy. Apparently, WrestleVotes, who apparently has become like a major gimmick schneebits on the internet, notes that Ron Killing will be referred by his real name, as we all know, on television, but also be known as R-Truth. So that name is not going away altogether. That's why. Oh, hold on. That's why commentary was using both names. I was like, Jimmy.
Yes.
I have to correct you on something.
What did I do?
And it hurt me, Rick. It hurt me. I really did. As we know that Jimmy does the wreckage with the vet. And listen, the vet's incredible. Like, he has helped a lot of us, become better pro wrestling reporters.
Absolutely.
Or pundits.
No doubt.
But you were fucking wrong, Jimmy, about something.
About what?
Woo, getting called out.
Here's the deal. You gave the credit. You gave the vet the credit.
Yeah.
For not doing. So when Jimmy used to do his wrestling shows, he used to read every move that happened during the match. And I remember, and you were still doing it. And I said, Jimmy,
I
off
stopped
air.
doing that.
Shut up.
Yeah. All
I
right,
said,
all right.
I remember off air. I said, Jim, before we do the show, let me take over real quick. Let me show you how I do it. How I just run through it real quick.
Right.
And so basically, I told you, Jimmy. I said you don't have to read move for move. Just and then you go and you give fucking vet credit for helping you get over that gimmick where you were reading the goddamn every move. It hurt my heart.
Oh, wait a minute. You weren't the only one that said it. It was numerous people that actually said it, to be fair. Shout out to the professor. I'm just saying, like, but yeah. I mean, I don't remember some of our conversations, for crying out loud.
Uh-oh.
He'll be back.
Hit the X
He'll
button on
be
it.
back.
Little exit stage
fine.
left for Big Ray there on his way back in.
Swap me over, Ray. There we go. Well, if I said that, I'm sorry, but yeah.
I don't care.
You know.
I just wanted to bust your balls. I said, what can I bust his balls on?
You refreshed me. Like, I wasn't even thinking about the conversation. You know what I mean?
I don't care. But do you care about Ron Killings? Anyone?
I do. As a matter of fact, I do. I don't know about Rick, but I'm sure we all do. But I thought, what's it going to be? Ron the Truth Killings? I mean, shit. It's not like he hasn't used that before.
Well, they're saying he's going to use both names. I mean, it's not a major wrestling story. I'm just throwing it out there. Any thoughts on that?
It's really a smart move on his part here. We don't know how this restructured contract looks for him. But, when you just have that R-Truth, I'm sure that is a WWE TKO intellectual property. Now with Ron Killings, things that are going forward, he's going to be identified as a name that he can continue on with past this contract. If that might be into his music, if it might just be into other bookings, merchandise like that. Now he's got his personal brand, his actual identity tied into the WWE property.
Well, I was going to ask you, marketing-wise, could he double up on the merchandise?
Yeah, I mean, that right there could be a genius idea. I mean, you could go front and back. You could go two different shirts. You could go and, flip them inside out. I mean, there's a number of, fun things you could go with it. I did see, too, that in an interview, someone asked with the more serious direction that we're getting, put some respect on my name. I'm more than, just that comedy act. Someone asked if he was going to be switching up his entrance music. And he did say, you know what, I'm still going to go with the, stay with the what's up, because it is so identifiable. It gets that big reaction that he wants. And the fans are going to respond, the way, to get him energized and all that.
Just a quick shout out to Labrat, who just jumped in the chat. What's going on? And of course, Cold Blooded and our brothers from the Wrestling for Life Network. They always, if you ever look at those reaction shows that they, you know how like Ron Killings came out. They always get their clipped, because they're fucking cool. Yeah, they always get clipped.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. On the bigger shows, for example, like 8-Beat Wrestling and shit like that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, you always see our brothers from the Wrestling for Life Network. Check them out. For some reason,
shout outs to them.
There's only 3 people that work there, but they go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't know how it's possible.
Nice,
man.
Good for them.
Shout outs to the boys at Wrestling for Life.
We should
I don't know if that's Bobo or
we should have
just run nonstop feed.
Yeah, just fucking tape like gallons,
24/7.
like empty plastic milk jugs or whatever, and we just pee in those. You know
what? That would be a good idea if we had a 24/7 channel of all our shit from the past going into. Yeah. Imagine that, just 24/7 HMG.
We can call it the WWE Network.
Do we charge $9.99 a month? Is that what we're going at?
Nah, we'll do $9.98.
Got to undercut.
I just want to point out quickly. I don't know if you guys noticed. I know Rick brought it up, so I'm sure he has. But Truth has been pushing out a lot of music, man. And one of his latest tunes is pretty good, man. It's a bit of a banger, man.
Oh,
it just sucks that WWE. I'm not kidding.
Come on.
I am dead set serious, man. I kid you not. One song I absolutely love, dude.
Well, what is it? What is it called? Do you know it?
I forgot what it's called, but I'll tell you in a second.
Memorable, folks.
Man, I just found it last week, man. I can't remember what it's
called. I thought you were going to drop some profound,
Yeah.
Musical enlightenment on us.
I think I've heard it on YouTube.
No, it's not like that.
It's something, what's up? What's up? What's up? That's the song? What's up?
That shit is nursery rhyme shit compared to what
Jimmy is right. He has been releasing more and more. Maybe he knew that the contract was coming up and talks maybe weren't going the way he thought, because he had been releasing a lot more through his socials just for some tracks that he's been cutting. Talented dude.
Yeah. And,
don't play that shit
song,
here,
by the way, is called You Know It.
Oh, I have heard it.
That's a good
Said
tune,
no one.
Man. It's about 9 months old.
All right, I'll try it again. I have heard it.
That's a good tune. I mean, come on.
Says no
Seriously.
one.
Yes.
No? All right.
Oh, God. Trust me,
Cranky.
it's pretty good. Go check it out if anyone hasn't.
Yeah, go check it out. I mean, if you have nothing better to do, like breathe. For whatever it's worth, it says here, Nikki Bella claimed on her podcast,
Oh
she
my
was like
God.
that she turned down a private locker room for the WWE's return to Raw last week. So they like offered me a private locker room. And I was like, no, I want to be with the girls. And
Where's
I
my
want to
tacos,
interact.
bro?
Oh my God. Oh, shut the fuck up. Yeah.
I fucking hate that shit, right?
See,
Seriously, straight up.
The one thing I'll say about Nikki Bella, and I'll go with Rick first. The one thing I'll say about Nikki Bella's return is that I would still fucking hit it, like really hard, and slow.
Oh, you make love?
They'd be no. I only make love with one woman. They'd be tons of eye contact and just slight hair pulling, probably. But with that being said, Rick, could you give less of a fuck of anyone's return other than Goldberg?
Well, Big Ray, definitely give us the details to ring that Bella. I heard you guys talking last week about it, and immediately I thought, I know Big Ray thought she looked great. I'm not going to argue there. I thought she actually looked more normalized, like she looked her age. She looked like a mom.
Yeah.
Whoa. You think she looked her age?
Yeah. She looked.
You think so?
Yeah, I thought she looked older. I mean, and I'm not saying that bad way. She looked more mature. She looked more momish to me.
Oh, mature. I guess I get what you're saying.
Mature maybe, but look her age, she still dresses like the usual Bella, though. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
I don't know. She didn't have the booty shorts on. She had the longer pants on.
Hold on. Elizabeth Getz says, she's like, is she pulling your beard hair? Yes, she is.
Yes. So yeah. And to kind of tie it, I guess, we were all kind of wondering, where the direction here is with Nikki going forward. I feel really bad that Liv's going to lose a moment like that to get in there to lock up with someone better or worse, a lover or hater. She does have the notoriety. Nikki is one of the more over WWE superstars of the last decade. Bringing her back for something like this is going to bring eyes to a product, again, better or worse, because it's a lot of total diva eyes. But to have a spot like that for Liv would have been nice. Nikki, I don't know. What's up with the humble act here? What are the numbers on her podcast? Who's listening to that? We know who you are here. You don't have to sit there and tell us. Go out and show us and give back to the product this time to make it better than when you arrived.
Yeah, Jimmy. Kevin Motti says, personally, I was more excited with Nikki Bella than Goldberg. Goldberg was on Raw. Hey, look at Jerome. Jerome's in the house. Anyway,
what up?
The Nikki Bella's going to have less impact with overall storylines and things that the smart inside of the bubble are going to be worried about. So I think it's going to be an easier road for her than Goldberg, who a lot of people are just immediately so turned off by. They had to do a title change, is what we're hearing. He's being thrust right into a main event spot. That everybody's so worried that he's going to go over in Atlanta. So there's a lot of negative focus on Goldberg there.
Jimmy, I mean, that's by the way, a lot of people think that Jimmy's drinking water. That's just vodka in a water bottle.
Vodka, straight from Ruski.
But yeah, man, Jimmy, I totally. It's weird. When this kid got injured, and again, we'll talk more about it. I forgot that she was in a huge angle with Nikki Bella. That's kind of a big deal, though. I mean, say what you will.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, it only lasted a week. You know what I mean? But what does that mean?
We don't know. They have a month.
Oh yeah, but if it's shoulder, she won't be back in a month. Well, actually, she might. Maybe
separated shoulders are so
not that bad.
But here's the problem: whenever you separate your shoulder for the first time, because I don't think she's ever had a separated shoulder. I don't know for sure.
Right.
It tends to continue to separate. Like it never, right? Doesn't it really? I don't know.
It's one of those that doesn't fully heal. You're going to have it reoccurring. But really? I mean, not that really. I just put myself over because I'm just such a legit badass. But I popped my shoulder out, put it back in, and went and finished a football game.
Wow.
That's hot.
But see, how does it feel like initially? Because I've never separated my shoulder.
Kind of freaky.
So, does it?
It's freaky. Yeah.
But does it hurt even when you're popping it back in?
You
Does it
feel
actually
you
hurt?
initially feel that pop. It's kind of like a little stabbing, or you got shot,
Right.
and it's just boom, you just go fucking limp, man, and you have no control over it.
And even when you kick it back in, like afterwards, do you still feel the pain, like during, say, the match?
Going back in is a real sharp joint of pain as well. Probably worse than going out.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Now,
Popping it out is like sex from the front. Popping it in is like sex from the back.
How?
That's what she said.
Taking it is dead.
Or he said.
Wow. Yeah, I remember
Okay.
I had something like that happen to me, an injury similar to that in reverse cowgirl position. Anyway, so all right,
Happy Pride Month, everybody out there.
let's
Yeah, that's true.
it's a cowgirl. But who identifies as anything now? According to Fightful,
Right.
according to Fightful, Damage Control. Remember them? We are in control now. Was quietly disbanded back in May, and commentators have been told never, ever in their life to refer to them again, or any members of that being part of the faction. I thought they were all fired. Who's left from that faction?
No, the only one fired is Dakota. I mean, he just had Asuka return. We're going to talk about that awesome return here. Kairi Sane, who was involved in the moment there with Liv. You got Bayley. Which is funny, Ray, that you mentioned that they're told not to mention that, and they're all on the same brand right now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Except for poor Dakota, who's out getting best in her future endeavors.
Dakota's out. The lesbian is out. What's her name? Chris Kattan.
Katana Chance.
She was like Chris. She was like Chris Kattan, the one that blew out her knee on a fucking drop kick during the.
Oh, Zoe, she wasn't. Yeah, but she wasn't in Damage Control.
Was it? She was. I don't know what the fuck these factions
you
are.
had. It was pretty much all the Asians, Dakota, and Bayley. Somehow.
Yeah, the OG. Damage Control.
That's racist. All right, nobody cares. They also whoever they may be, is always talking. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Elizabeth. Ouch. Kevin
She
Marty
wasn't part
says.
of Damage Control, but
Same shit.
No, that's what we just said.
Yeah. They also say, Jimmy, are you delayed?
no, not that
Okay,
I know
no,
of.
you're not. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was asking seriously because I felt like you were kind of like.
Are you calling me a retard? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't. Dude,
Nah,
you can't.
I'm
Don't use,
joking.
Hey.
don't use the R word here.
This is a family channel.
Oh, sorry.
Fucking. Anyway, they also say WWE has some interest. All right, so we already know that the whole private party thing, and I say we already have a couple black guys that talk loud and drink out of cups. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big private party fan because I don't even remember ever watching a private party match. To be honest, are they any good?
You don't take shots?
No, I take shots, but not. Listen, are they any good? Like, are they worth it? Be honest,
Mr.
'cause I don't know.
Mr. Wreckage, I'll defer to you on this one. You've seen a lot more.
Yeah, we spoke about that actually. So, look, I think they do have some sort of value, really, but at the same time, if they do bring them to WWE, you know why they're going to be there, because they're probably going to pin them against the Profits. People used to talk about it like it was some dream match a few years ago, if you guys remember. But is it really? The Profits would absolutely annihilate him if it was a real fight. you know what I mean?
I could be mistaken. My memory's kind of off, especially in my drinking days, but I don't recall ever in any walk of life hearing anyone talk about that as a dream match.
I kid you not, people used to say that shit.
Maybe in Australia, but not here in the United States, where the real world kind of things run through our gates here. The only comparisons that I'd ever seen was maybe that the not the Street Profits, who the private party was like the Temu version of the Street Profits.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I call them the Street Puppets. I'll probably call them that in WWE. That's what I was saying on the wreckage, but as a joke, obviously. But yeah, they are. They really are the Temu of the Street Profits. I don't mind them though in saying that, but one of them moans like a little bitch, and the other one just doesn't do much. That's the problem.
We have breaking news and update here. It says sources close to WWE told Corey Hayes of Bodyslam.net. Yeah, I don't know who that is. That there are no plans to bring back Alberto Del Rio. That WWE has not contacted him about a return, and they are adamant about not using him. There are no signs that they'll ever use him again. So
wasn't he just on Triple A's Triple Mania?
It's not WWE.
Oh wow.
Well, you kind of.
How do you
But
know?
that crowd, the crowd down there took to El Patron Del Rio and his faction over Vikingo. Vikingo
Really?
getting a lot of heat down there during that match and that finish. And I guess some
I haven't
things
watched
went
it.
awry down there. The handcuffs kind of fell off. They tried cuffing him twice. They broke. So you had the factions involved there. Vikingo gets the win, the assist by walking out of the cage. But
And Latino
the
Lover
reaction-
as well, that feud.
the reactions that he's been getting here stateside, not the same. That was a very heavy pro Del Rio Patron crowd down there, apparently.
Interesting.
well.
You know what? Say what you want about El Patron or Del Rio, whatever you want to call him. He does still call himself Del Rio too, funny enough.
Does he?
As well as Patron, however he feels. But in saying that, he does have value, but he's a piece of shit of a human being. That's the problem. But I think he's actually pretty good.
I think
He's
he's
just a
worthless.
piece of shit.
He's worthless. Anyone that does what he did.
No, he's a piece of shit, straight up.
Here, let's talk about somebody
And
who's not a piece of
JBL in AAA is absolutely brilliant, just quietly. I just wanna
Let's talk
say
about
that.
somebody who's not a piece of shit. Julia. So, and Vet will be happy with this. Again, head over to Opinion Haver as soon as we're done with this show and go over to Twitch and watch the Vet play with himself. Play video games. What do we got here? So Julia, apparently, shocker, there's some news backstage that she's getting a big push.
Come on, man. If I said that
I'm serious,
to
this
the
is-
vet, he would have absolutely.
That's a
buried me.
headline there.
That's that she's gonna be getting a big push on SmackDown. Shocker, a gorgeous woman that knows how to wrestle.
I would
Okay.
have thought, huh?
All right.
I do like that. I do like that they are giving her a little bit of some kind of character, which I think they desperately need to start focusing in on someone else like Stephanie Vaquer. There, we don't know anything with her. Which she's just a workhorse that has like a little smirk, and she does a sexy move. That's pretty much her entire package right now.
You talking about Julia?
With Stephanie, so at least with
Okay.
Julia, she's developing that snake in the weeds that you're looking for, that stab you in the back, opportunistic, just bad person. So I like what they're doing.
All right, I'm gonna time you out, Rick. Don't you ever talk about Stephanie Vaquer again in any negative fashion, you son of a bitch. All right, did you hear what I said there?
About horny or about Julia?
I said I'll time you out because don't you ever talk about Stephanie Vaquer in any negative fashion ever in your life again. You
What
understand?
did I say that was negative? That wasn't the truth.
Oh, motherfucker! Now I have to mute him.
Look, to be fair to
Unbelievable.
Rick,
This son of a
he's
bitch
not
just
saying
doesn't
that
get it.
she sucks as
Oh.
a wrestler. She's saying,
Okay.
he's saying that WWE is practically making her what she is right now. Basically that, and what he said.
She needs to stop smiling. She smiles too much. I stole
And
that
what's
from
up
the vet.
is when Raw started, she's on the phone, and they're like
So
talking.
hot.
Why would they tell her to do that? Well,
She was talking to me.
seriously. Oh, I see.
And shop.com needs to get them horns up immediately.
Yeah, why don't they have Stephanie
They still
Vaquer
don't have it.
horns? I was thinking that the other day. I was like, and
I was going to mail you some because I thought they would help you compliment your look here on I Like It Raw. Some horns there, buddy.
Very funny how Jimmy over here didn't know that purchasing a Muppet was like a very expensive thing. Those puppets that they use. Speaking of puppets, we have a Mercedes Monet story here. They are very expensive to make.
I actually had this debate with Vet on one of the shows. Maybe we'll watch along. But I looked it up,
How much?
and that Build-A-Bear, you can get like a customized Kermit the Frog one for under $100. And you look what the wrestling the collectors are buying, man. They're spending $500 on replica belts and all that. These guys are going to go out and spend $150, $200 on a quality puppet, which you could move, or just go get a cheapo one from the third world country somewhere. Make that shit for $9.99, sell it for $99.
And you know what else is whack these days? How everything, all nostalgic shit, is becoming way too expensive because of the way everyone is willing to pay for shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Not pro wrestling news, but apparently the Gap is coming back.
As in jeans?
Yeah, the show. Not just jeans. They have t-shirts and hoodies and all this other shit. Anyway,
Okay.
the odds on Bet Online, you may have heard of them, indicate that Mercedes Moné is a heavy favorite to win the CMLL World Women's Championship from I don't know who the fuck that is from Zukidis. What's the name of this shit over here?
Oh, from Hamin.
Oh fuck! Oh Jesus! Fucking shit!
Yes, that's right. You'll win all the titles from Jadakiss to Judicus, whoever, Leviticus. I've beat them all, infidels, and I'm gonna beat you all off. I mean, I'm gonna. What? That's right. What's up, guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, he is 9 feet 11 tall. He's 911 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say formerly of Saudi Arabia, because that shit's gonna be wiped off the mat anytime soon.
No way. We're about to have a whole new front lawn in Iran.
That's what you think, brother. Ballistic missiles all the way. What's up, Ben? Ben Hamin jumps into the fray here. What's going on, buddy? I like your shirt. You look like a middle-aged surfer.
That's me.
What's up,
surfs up, yeah. The
Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys need a replacement.
That's because you're dressed like in the same age as everyone that was at those No Kings rallies. Where's your sign at?
Yeah, well, I got to infiltrate some way, right? So, yeah, man, I stole RBV's name from yesterday because it was good. But yeah, I just in between shows on Russo brand with Stevie and Vince, and I saw you guys were live, so don't really need to go take a leak or anything. So I figured I'd hop in, say what's up.
See, Ben knows how. We were talking about taking leaks live on air, like just getting like jugs and having them under the table.
Oh, that's just being old men with fucking shitty bladders, yeah. So and morning coffee. So yeah, man. Hopefully you guys are good, having a good weekend as the world falls down around everything, and it's just more misdirection spots and sell for nothing, no sell everything. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you're just playing right into the hands of how they want you to live with fear and loathing. So I'm glad you guys can escape here with us on Hamin Media Group. And hang out for a minute and talk about one of the worst Raws, I guess, ever.
No, actually, I think, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Ben.
Yeah.
I think this was possibly one of the greatest Raws I've ever seen. I'm just kidding. I can't fucking.
Yeah. Well, she did say Nikki Bella. And
my God.
Nikki Bella, I fight you.
Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer.
Yeah. How about the Latino girl who changed her name back to a Latino name, couldn't pronounce Vaquer, the other Latino girl's name.
Vaquer.
Just like, dude, the epitome of why everything from year 2000 till present day has sucked, because they have nothing but iPad worthless generation useless culture at their foundation, man.
How much you want to bet she did that shit on purpose?
No, that's just her being ignorant and not caring.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. She never. All these girls, the Bellas laid the foundation. They never should have had a job, bro.
Oh, they laid all right.
Yeah, they were brought in for the exact purpose that they were used for. And really, at the end of the day, it's an embarrassment. Why isn't anybody calling out the fact of her failed engagement? We just do a little thing. Oh, your man's in my DMs. Well, how about when you got proposed to in front of everybody and that fell flat on its fucking face? And then you rebounded with a dude who was a fucking Hollywood douchebag to only have a kid so you could try and parlay your star power into Dancing with the Stars. That ended up in an 18-year, $200,000 a year fucking child support ass kicking for you. Don't want to wear those shoes. Nobody wants to point that shit out, that living a shallow life where you're a fake Kardashian is going to end up like being a fucking douchebag, like a real Kardashian. No, we're not going to point any of that out. Okay.
You know what that was? That was
cold-blooded. Yeah. Big missed opportunity right there, Ben, for them to just lean into it and lay in heavy on the day after Father's Day. With the dad getting the alimony, getting the child. Get good Father's Day for him, because he's got to be a dad and a mom, doesn't he, Nikki?
Oh, that's why she's wrestling again. She's got to.
Why would you bring anybody who's within 1 degree of separation of Johnny Ace onto your show?
Oh, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. But doesn't he have custody of the kids as well? He's got the main custody of their kids.
Does he? Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
She's
Listen,
gonna-
I'm sure that kid's gonna end up perfectly well adjusted with no issues whatsoever, and they won't try and pimp him out when he's 4 years old to be on the cover of People magazine and every other
don't
fucking
say that.
thing.
Well,
Like,
Ray just let us know the Gap is back. Gap baby, they need models.
yeah, pal.
We need human sacrifices for Molech at Bilderberg. I mean, this kid's got a big future ahead of him.
What does your shirt say there? What's your shirt?
Heirloom, the number one selling cannabis brand in New York State. Heirloom, they did these 420 shirts for us. They were started as Beacon Skiff, the apple orchard people, in 1911. Then they came out with 1911 hard cider, and now they're the leading producer of cannabis edibles and drinks, and they have a couple other things too. Dude, I went and saw their facility. First time ever I've seen. They had 7 of them in back, 500-pound bags of weed, bro. It was insane. Yeah, they got the Breaking Bad. It's like you took a Breaking Bad lab, a part of a Willy Wonka candy factory, and the Laverne and Shirley fucking, Milwaukee brewery, and had it all in one facility. And now they've just cloned that, so now they got 2 of them. It's crazy, man.
That's so fucking fun.
Great brand, great people, right out of Syracuse, New York.
That's awesome. Isn't that awesome, Jimmy? You like marijuana?
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a dream. What are you talking about?
Right.
Hey,
their drinks are great, man.
Check this out. So, do you guys think that Monet is gonna win that Mexican championship wrestler gimmick, the belt over there? Those belts look so cheesy.
Talking about that.
Why is it in Mexico? The belts look like fucking shit that you pick up on a side of a street fair. Like their championship belts look so bad. Is it just me or?
Those belts are for guys who can't get over with character, and most Mexicans, what are you going to have, a belt that outshines your mask? Like what?
That would explain why Monet is up to like 9 titles now, which the most intriguing thing about her when she comes on the screen is that the belt count doubles. Not that she's doing anything to sell the product, but the fun side game of the belt count tally goes through the roof. That's the only thing interesting about her.
What happened, Jimmy? What?
She's Ultima Monet at this point.
Ultima Monet.
Just give me a break. All right. We need to, since you're here, and the vet mentioned it, we need you to confirm this or deny this. How much did Vince Russo pay for that fucking disco puppet?
I think somebody sent it to him. I think somebody had it made.
What a loser. Somebody spent money and sent them a fucking puppet, $1,000 puppet.
I don't think it's the same person who made Tony Storm's, but it might have been somebody who was even affiliated with that show.
Oh my God.
That was on Comedy Central. Remember the puppet fucking show they had for a while there? That was I think it might be somebody who worked for them.
Frank Yankers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Crank Yankers. Crank
Yankers.
Yeah. But he's also got the Ben Hamin Wrestle Buddy, so he could have tag team matches or erotic puppetry, I guess, whatever he wants.
Whoa.
That's hot. Some what is it? Some like only pork with
Only pups.
Only pups.
Somebody's getting stuffed tonight. I'll tell you that.
Only pup. Hey, speaking about who's getting stuffed, according to Fightful Select, AEW's plan is to promote the new AEW Unified Championship belt as a second top title rather than a mid upper card title. So, what?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. The unit title is
more world titles, more special episodes, more 4-hour blocks. It's what the AEW audience has just been screaming for, what the wrestling world has needed.
It's a shame because WWE's on their heels right now with their lackluster effort, and now would have been the time, Rick, you and I talked about this, for a real actual battle plan to regain a little bit of traction and ground, especially with the residencies, which I think is very smart, especially in traditional like wrestling hotbeds, and with what WWE's charging for tickets to point that out. And Tony Khan can take a loss on a house. He's been doing it for fucking 4 years. What's another 6 months of taking L's on houses and convert those people back to you a little bit, getting most bang for your buck, doing something with, tax return stuff. You know what I mean? You buy one ticket and we'll give you 3 more, $1 each. Because we want your tax return to be the most, so you get the family stuff back in there. Instead, we've got lawsuits because Moxley wants to go into business for himself. And
so let's talk about that, because that's going to be the last news story of the day. Apparently, there's a lawsuit where Jon Moxley went into business for himself, and he pushed some random fucking some cameraman or whatever.
Yeah, the guy's worked a lot of wrestling shows. Yeah,
he's identified as a long-term production crew member. So this is back in 2023, and you can see there's footage out there. He's working a camera, but inside of it, the plan was for him to pass off the screwdriver to Moxley, who would then in turn use that as a foreign object against Kenny Omega at the time. So in the footage, you can see Moxley kind of getting aggressive, shoves the dude to the ground. He takes a hard kind of roll on his right shoulder while trying to get the camera up on the left. Doesn't look too brutal, but we were talking about this yesterday, and Ben just laying out here. This guy's he knows he's not going to get any more work inside the business, but he's cashing out big time on this.
And alive, Jon Moxley.
25,000.
Say again.
Apparently,
2023.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Yeah, I mean,
just get out of here, fat fuck.
Right. So Moxley's ready
fat
for
fuck. Oh, sorry.
Moxley's ready for his 5-star with Omega. So they're feeling themselves, and that was supposed to be a spot. And Moxley probably thinks that this guy's one of the boys. He's been on the shows, but he really isn't one of the boys. He's wrestling adjacent, and he's probably seen enough bullshit and also seen Moxley have heat backstage. Who knows, whatever they were talking. And to me, this just smells like ambulance chaser lawyer, like concocting this with like 7 possible things to get paid on in the workspace. And if you're just making scale, you know what I mean, and your hours been cut back and you have this, why wouldn't you go and get the settlement from the guy who's got $1 billion and the performer who's got millions of dollars and settle out of court and fucking go, my shoulder was fucked up, but I'll get it repaired and we'll blame it on this because I got the footage. That's just a guy inside the business being a worker, cashing out, whether you're on staff or not. And was Moxley in the wrong? Yeah, dude, you fucking can't be calling spots on guys that aren't in your match and just fucking going into biz for yourself, because that's where you have to be, entertaining, but still hold on to your faculties that, okay, I work for this company. I'm not going to make it a liability and da-da-da. Instead, it was like, nah, he should be fucking honored to be pushed down by me.
Can I ask though? Didn't he? He got fired in 2023, right? Or not fired? 2024.
So this is when the incident happened. That's saying in the chat that he actually had been working up until this past December with the company.
Until December 2024, for example. Why
and then
now?
He got demoted. Or whatever. Why now?
Yeah, then he got demoted.
It takes a while to
because there's probably rumblings that he was going to sue, and then they demoted him.
There you go.
Then, instead of fucking kayfabing him and keeping him happy and ego stroke, this is a guy who can't be bought off with, hey, we'll give your family tickets to our next show. Like, no, dude, you're going to go in, and we're in a 1980s nostalgia right now. And in the 80s, if you weren't around, fucking people were suing each other for every single little thing. And everything old is new again, bro. And this is what we're seeing with this right here. Right. And I feel that Moxley and Khan will settle with this guy for probably $3 to $4 million, and this guy fucking will set a precedent. And now, like, tech guys will be weary of talent, and talent won't want to talk to tech, and none of it's going to lead to a better show or better level of production for anybody.
Fred's Pickle Barrel with a great catch here. What if it's Morgan and Morgan representing this guy who has a sponsorship with WWE?
That'd be fucking great. That would be great, dude. But the reality is, and even though it would seem more like admitting to liability, you take from reality. Somebody in AEW should either be scared of every tech guy or doing the lawsuit thing on everything that's fucking hurt or what have you. You know what I mean? Hot coffee in the crotch shit. From when the lady sued McDonald's back in the day, like, go just turn who somebody needs to become Mr. and Mrs. Lawsuit, where you're afraid to even interact with them because they're just taking flops like NBA players. And
bring back Morgan, and Morgan. Get Matt Morgan back involved into this thing,
and get Liv in there, and she can sue for she can sue for blowing her own shoulder out. That'll be a good time. She can sue herself. That'll be great.
Jimmy, just so you understand, like lawsuits do take a long time to like form, and because I have
I know.
Listen, I've had a
I had
pending.
to ask because I felt like the times were a bit off, you know.
I'll make this public. I have a pending lawsuit against Ben Hamin. Ben, you remember when?
Yeah.
Remember? Well, we kind of dropped it, but remember when I went to your house and we slept in your basement and your dog tried to fuck my face? Yeah, that was.
Didn't try successfully.
It did finish. Your dog did finish, and you know that shit kind of traumatized me. I haven't been able to sleep right.
First, Ray, you can't rape the willing.
Well, I have to.
Yeah,
listen,
and that dog is countersuing you.
I have to sleep with a furry pillow over my face now. Moving forward, I'm traumatized.
You loved it that much, all right? Oh shit! But you know what's funny? Also, been TK's known to settle all the time too with all these lawsuits.
Sure.
So
plus, he's got the one from the Tate twins that's
exactly.
supposedly going to arbitration, and then there was another one. Kevin Kelly as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that was some strange throat cut, Me Too movement shit, like
big time.
You know, where their own personal woke politics is coming back to bite them in the fucking ass, bro. And there's a laundry list of Moxley, big league, and people backstage, and all you need to do is get 2 or 3 people where you know that they don't like him to subpoena them to come testify, get that in deposition. Now you've got a pattern of behavior leading up to this fucking point where this guy thinks he's untouchable because he's a top guy, and then he is a mark for himself and breaks fucking and pushes this dude down thinking that nothing can touch me. Well, it's going to cost, you know.
That's the problem. They touched them. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Well, I got to dip out, you guys. The new Russo link just arrived, but I just wanted to say, hey, hopefully you guys are having a great week, and thanks for all the awesome work. And if you need anything, don't call me.
Well, that's not nice.
Thank
and that dog, you better fucking do something with that dog.
You better fucking do something.
God damn it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ben Hamin. Fucking goddamn dog.
You told me that story, you know, that last time.
Little red rocket all over my face.
Ugh.
Anyway. All right. We're done with that. All right, Ben Hamin, ladies and gentlemen. And he actually popped out at the perfect time. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do what we do best here. It's time to talk Monday Night Raw. All right, boys and girls. Monday Night Raw was live June 16th, 2025. And where did it come from? Where the hell was? Oh, yeah,
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. Remember that? Mr. Kennedy. You didn't even fucking let me finish my gimmick. You and the dog. Oh, fuck me all the time. Anyway. So, yeah, we came from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're leading up to the Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, if it is still on the face of the earth after the next couple of days. Who knows? I don't know. Is Saudi Arabia and wow, I didn't think about this. We're kind of like at war with these fuckers, right? So, was it safe to fly WWE superstars into?
Let me rephrase that. Saudi Arabia don't like Iran.
Oh, they don't.
Just quietly. So no, actually, most Arab countries don't like Iran because they're Shiite Muslims, I think.
That's
and
right.
The rest are Sunni.
They're a little more progressive, right? They let the women.
No, they're not. The people
they can show their eyes or something. Oh,
no. Like I said, Saudis are opposite to the Iranians in terms of Islam religion.
Kennedy. What?
Plus, Iranians aren't technically Arabs and don't speak Arab. They're Persians. They speak Farsi.
Shows how much I know.
Yeah, well, there you go. The Saudis are absolutely behind Israel and the US if they get involved.
Kennedy. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got here, folks. We got a whole bunch of shit to talk about, including Goldberg. But let's this is Saudi show should be called Survivor Series.
I'm surprised I haven't actually done that yet. A Survivor Series.
That's great. That's great. WWE plane gets shot down over.
Shit, imagine that, man.
Oh, God forbid, man.
Yeah,
I get,
God
I
forbid.
do get worried when the WWE goes over to. I don't know why. When it goes over to Saudi Arabia,
It's all
every
about
time.
money, bro. It's all about the money.
Mm.
That's why.
Anyway, the show opens up with some commentary and stuff regarding, they do the whole little montage gimmick. Judgment Day with Dominic and Liv Morgan. They make their entrance. And then finally we get Liv, who basically, we get a little recap of Liv basically calling out Nikki Bella for being a fucking loser and not having a boyfriend. All right, so she says it's Monday Night Morgan. I love her laugh. She's so fucking adorable. God damn that kid. But anyway, man, look, basically she cuts a promo on Io Sky. Io Sky comes up, says, I am in control now. And then she's like, look, you can just give me the belt. And Io Sky's like, I'm not going to give you a belt. You want the belt? You can have it. And she points to the... Anyway, it ends up, with the baby faces going over strong. Did I recap that right there,
You actually
RBV?
did. That was perfect.
Anyone? So that's basically your opening promo. What about, I would say, now we're 20 minutes into the show, and this is what we got. Elizabeth says she muted the segment, which I don't blame, but I don't think I missed anything. I did what Jimmy used to do. I read verbatim exactly what they...
You did. That's what went through my mind.
Yeah. So your thoughts on this segment? I'll go with Rick first, and then Jimmy, and then my opinion doesn't matter.
I agree with you. What you said there. I mean, we run way too long to open the show.
Oof.
We want something to grab us here instead of setting up some just out of nowhere women's match. I get that you're coming out. You're trying to get that heat, trying to build up some of that hype for whatever interaction we've got planned with her and Nikki going into Evolution. But kind of a waste of an open, isn't it?
It is.
It was a long time. It was a very long segment, Jimmy. I mean, I know you like
it was. And
talking.
not only is that a waste now, because we know more than likely it probably won't end up happening anymore, the match that is. But
I think that was a running theme through this episode, though. A lot of extended shit, especially when they panic when they have the injury and they're trying to fill all that time. I mean, we could, if this Raw would have been maybe about 90 minutes, we probably got a much different outlook on this thing if they just would have cut everything and got to the point, and they kind of set the tone in this opener for things running too long.
Yeah, and you know what? I would have actually done the Goldberg thing first instead of this, because you want something to grab you, right? I know a lot of people shit on Goldberg, but the fans in attendance were definitely happy to see him. I'll give him that. But as far as the Liv Morgan thing and Nikki Bella, and of course Io, it's not going to grab you to continue watching for most fans. You know what I mean? It just felt a little bit tamed for a beginning of Raw compared to what we used to.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Listen, man, all in all, it was a very long, very unnecessary, in my humble opinion. I mean, it was a necessary segment, but in my humble opinion, I think it was too long. It could have went 10, not even, maybe 5 minutes. She gets over on the mic. Not Asuka. Goddamn, I mix them all up. Io comes out. She kicks her in the head. Haha, we in control now. Takes the belt. Whatever. They could have done this in 5 minutes. I'm just saying, because they did the whole video recap. They did a recap of the show. Then they did a recap of last week's segment between the girls, and then they did this fucking long ass. It's just too much.
They got too much shit going on right now. Like, I was taken by surprise doing the watch along with Let's Go, Brian. Great shout out for a lot of fun with the watch alongs. And I didn't even realize that Night of Champions was next week.
What?
Because we got
Is it really? Why?
Yeah, it's a week from this upcoming Saturday. So we're 10 days out.
Man.
No, hold on. Change that.
The 28th. It is the 28th.
All right, fix it.
That's ridiculous.
Fix
Night
it.
of Champions is the 28th.
You can't make a call. Fix it. Move it to next month.
No, and then we're already setting everything up for that big weekend in Atlanta, where you got Saturday night's main event, Evolution, and we got an NXT, Great American Bash that weekend.
Jesus, poor Jimmy's not going to have time to even take a bath.
I know.
He's going to be podcasting from the bathtub.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe.
HMG.
No, but for real though.
Hold on, time out, Jimmy. You can do a true HMG after dark. Light some candles and shit. Have like a 4K camera.
A little aromatherapy to help you get through these episodes.
Jeez, no.
A little Chardonnay.
Hell no.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
But no, that threw me off now. I forgot what I was even going to say. But What I
talking
was
about Saturday
going to
night's
say,
main
now
event.
I remember now. Too much shows, too many PLEs, too many shows every second week. It's just wrong for me. Settle down. No, Lab Rat. We don't want that.
Oh yeah.
But if you guys are willing to pay for it, I mean,
Yeah.
people do sell bathwater. You know that?
Yeah, we'll get you some of that Blake
Ridiculous.
Monroe bathwater that she's going to start selling over there at shop.com.
Rick, tell me if I'm wrong, but does Blake Monroe sound a little bit sus, if you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
It is Pride Month this
Blake
month.
Monroe. I like the name.
Yeah, I didn't hate the name. I
You know
just
what
wish.
I'm getting at? I said it on the Smack
Yeah,
Attack.
I know.
but-
You said you making fun of transgender. It's terrible. Jimmy's a terrible. He's a racist. But
Racist.
Reminds me of Blake Lively, who I think is super hot and one of the sexiest women ever lived. Marilyn Monroe. You put them together, two hot blondes.
so I have a question. Is her new gimmick, because they did like the 60s or the late 50s mom in the kitchen music and all that shit. Where are they going? Are they gonna steal Timeless Tony Storm's gimmick? Like, is that what they're doing with her? Like, what is she?
I think it's the ultimate, kind of like the Marilyn Monroe, where back then they had to present it a certain way as a wholesome thing, but everybody knew it was just total sexual grab.
Marilyn Monroe was a hot freaking piece of meat, wasn't she? Is that terrible to say? No, it's true.
She got a lot of meat.
She got a lot of meat, as a matter of fact. I hear.
Yeah, some presidential meat.
That guy, that girl was gobbling down more dogs than Joey Chestnut.
Hey, speaking of Joey Chestnut,
she's doing pills from her ass, apparently.
breaking news: Joey Chestnut is
back,
back.
baby.
He is back in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Rick Vickery, you have recovered this, I think, a few years now in a row. Your thoughts on the new Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which is right around the corner, about less than a month away.
We have got a divided country. We have got people so upset over Worlds Collide. They've been rioting in L.A. This past week. They are so upset over this piss poor King of the Ring format that we had no kings protest.
Right.
Everybody's upset. We need someone to come and unite this country like never before. And yes, from the ashes, a phoenix arising, a hero returning to the grandest stage of them all, July 4th, high noon, dog gobbling like never before. Joey Chestnut back in the saddle again, baby. We're going to be talking
Glizzy
all about
Guzzler.
it. Yes. We're going to be talking all about it right here on the channel with the HMG RBV
What's crazy?
hot dog eating contest watch along.
One thing I can't wrap my head around about the US is why is hot dog eating such a big deal? And
we don't need you to wrap your head around it, because we are going to wrap our delicious buns around those succulent, juicy hot sausages, baby, and we're going to shove about 86 of them down come July 4th and scream to the world so that it rings clear around the globe that our golden shores, coast to coast, are the best in the world.
You know what's funny? Jimmy's over here talking about our hot dogs, right? But he's eating shit like Vegemite and Black Betty Bam. You ever heard of
Vegemite competitions?
You ever had Black
Maybe
Betty
you'd
Bam?
be a better country if you did.
Not with Vegemite though. Hell no.
Jimmy, you didn't answer my question. Have you ever had what is it called? Black Betty Bam?
What? What's that?
Yeah, it's like Vegemite. It's just like an alternative.
No, I believe I haven't, and I've never seen it. The other alternative that is Vegemite is called Marmite.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm talking. Listen, I think I'm more Australian than you.
Look, I'll give you credit. You actually know quite a bit about Australian stuff, and so does MSG. But MSG knows because of his work that he does, because he does a lot of Australian television type of work too. So
something? MSG is just a worldly figure, just like Ray there. They're just in touch with societies around the world.
He knows everything. He even knows Red Rooster, which made me laugh.
I love Red Rooster. Listen, has anybody heard from Darkside Caster?
Yeah, he's been around.
Okay, because I had this ready. Like I've been waiting, because sometimes certain people, they cold blooded and all that. I've had this waiting for him because we have Spaceballs 2 that's coming out. So instead of me doing the whole fucking gimmick, I had this when this.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing.
And he hasn't shown up. I don't. Anyway, Asuka versus Ivy Nile versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Stephanie Vaquer in the Queen of the Ring first round match. I mean, we had everything here. We had devil's kisses on the apron. We had tall Mexican chicks throwing little Japanese girls around. Asuka making her comeback. And I got to tell you something, man. Apparently nobody's ready for Asuka. I thought Stephanie Vaquer was going over here, but she doesn't. Towards the end of the match, we have Rhea Ripley, who pulls Raquel Rodriguez off where she had hit the chingona bomb, and she gave all the tall Mexican chick a big riptide onto the floor, throws her back in the ring. Asuka gets the pin, and I don't know how I feel about this. I'm glad to see Asuka back. Asuka is still, in my opinion, the best female wrestler in the world. I think she's so good. But my God, like Stephanie Vaquer just can't get a win here on Monday Night Raw. Jimmy, I'm gonna go with you first. How did you feel when Asuka won this match? And did you like the match? I thought it was a pretty good way to start.
That was a great match.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was one of the top two matches of the evening, including the main event. But the thing about this match, and I was surprised that Stephanie Vaquer, whatever she was called by Vaquer, whatever it was, Vaquer, whatever Nikki called her, you would have thought she was going over, but you did have Asuka coming back. But you know what really stood out to me? How great Ivy Nile is looking, man. I feel like they need to start doing something with her.
I agree.
What?
What? Look at her, man.
She's so fucking.
What are you going to do with her?
She's great, though.
I know. All these people are like, "Oh, they should get a push." Man. Well, all right. Where? What? Who are you going to demote? What direction? Why can't she just be a good hand? Because that's what she is.
Senator Mexico.
Yeah, but she looks better than a good hand, though, Rick. Come on, you got to give her that.
But I'm asking you, and you're not giving it. Whose spot is she going to take?
You're right. I can't think of whose spot she needs to be taking over. But the thing is, I'd put her ahead of Flair right now, for example, and even she's not even high up.
You can't put her ahead of Charlotte Flair. As much as I love,
I truly would.
I know you would, but I'm just saying.
All right, so. Even Niles, you believe is going to put more asses in seats and move more merchandise and grab more recognition for your brand than a Charlotte Flair?
Look, obviously not over Charlotte in terms of name recognition and brand power, but if you give her something, I don't even know if she's a good talker or not, really. Do you know what I mean?
Like, and I'm not trying to not. I think what she does, and which is very, very good, she's a great hand to have. Put her in these spots like that. She's going to give you some good matches. And if she continues in those, she's going to remain employed, which is the overall goal for her.
Wow, that's harsh.
You ain't wrong.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I mean, people can, have great long careers sitting there for 10 years in that mid card there, getting those checks. People trust you to go out there and take care of them to make them look good. There's nothing wrong there.
No, I guess you're right. But at the same time,
I was actually surprised she didn't eat the pin here. That was my big surprise of this match.
That's true too. But you would have thought they would do something eventually with her, and she has been around for a long time. But really, she's just a great hand, like we said right now.
I would maybe suggest that when it comes to American made, that maybe the wrong person is wearing a mask.
What?
Maybe it should be Evie now wearing the mask.
So that's terrible.
Look, it's not.
She's not.
I'm just joking. I'm absolutely.
Look, I know what he's saying. She's got a bit of a manly head. I mean, to be fair.
No, I do like her. I think she's in the right spot here. But coming out here, I think we all can agree there could have been some debate, which I did like in this match. That is it going to be Stephanie or is it going to be the returning Asuka? I thought really Stephanie needed this win more. Because as we were talking about earlier,
I agree with
running the risk of getting muted here, I think we need direction with her instead of just being, she looks great, she's awesome, good moves, good workhorse. She's that workhorse. I thought she needed this for direction. Asuka doesn't need to advance on in the women's Money in the Bank at this point because she's one of the best ever. So not picking up a win even in her return.
Plus, it makes sense. Even if she lost, it wouldn't have been a big deal, right, Rick? Because she just came back from injury, so she could have taken the loss, and no one would have really.
Well, she's not eating the pin here, and you could move something on with her. Right. But all right, so now we have a direction for Asuka. She's moving on in the Queen of the Ring. We have something for Raquel, who was in this match. It looks like she's moving forward with Rhea. Ivy, as we talked about, she has her spot. She is that good hand to have. Where does this leave Stephanie in this match?
That's what I'm saying.
She get lost in the shuffle, guys. That's the thing I'm worried about with her.
How do you lose Stephanie Vaquer in a fucking shuffle?
They're too stacked right now, Ray, in terms of the women's divisions. I mean, it's true. They really are stacked. I mean, they need to figure something out. And the sad part is, it was the right time to bring her up in terms of she's ready, but she's got to, stay in her place at the moment, which is unfortunate, because maybe now with Liv getting hurt, possibly now she can make her way up a little bit. She looks great there. Wow.
Yeah. This is what she looks like when she's not fucking dressed like a American gladiator.
Right.
She's fucking she's tremendous. She's money.
Oh yeah, it was just a little joke there. I think she's a great hand to have. I just, maybe at some point you look at a run with the American-made gimmick. Maybe a great women's U.S. champion.
Yes. There you go. There you go.
Way better than freaking Zelina. Let's be real here, guys.
Oh, Zelina Vega's terrible.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely, much better.
But let's focus in on Asuka now. So Asuka's, she's into her 40s. She's a legend. She's, in my opinion, the greatest, probably the greatest female wrestler of all time. I really believe that. I think
in terms of in-ring?
I think just the best period.
All around.
All around. Everything.
Yeah.
She's the greatest. Who's better? Who better than Canyon? Tell me.
Who better than Canyon?
Who's better than her?
Well, look, best wrestler, sure, I can agree with that in terms of in-ring ability. Overall, though, like, she's not, what does she do in her promo game? No one is ready for Asuka. Not saying it's bad, but that's what she's known for.
All right.
I mean, if you want to go total package, I mean,
that's what I'm waiting for. Who?
Well,
geez.
They're inside of
that right now.
You look at it, they're obviously not cutting an English promo, but her message can be felt. She has tremendous body language. Technically, yes, character-wise, she's absolutely got it. Everywhere she's gone, she's hit the highest level of success. And that's just through the booking. I mean, she's been there because she absolutely has earned it to carry those divisions that she's been a part of. Unfortunately, I think because a lot of her work, I think Fett spoke to this as well before, but because a lot of her work was done overseas and not in front of this general audience, she's going to be not regularly mentioned, as Ray said, amongst those elite of elite when we're talking about the greatest female performers in professional wrestling.
Her Japanese runs were great too, man. Like,
but it's still the same. Like, we don't put Ray, give me a Japanese baseball player. Who was the guy from the Marlins that tore up? Hideki
Matsui for the Yankees.
He was in Japan. He went over to the Mariners.
Ichiro.
He was up Ichiro. Yeah. Ichiro. There was with how amazing he had been. It took him so long to get recognized because we didn't look at the accomplishments that he had in Japan.
You brought about the current Japanese star, who's pretty much the best one. Who plays for the Dodgers? What's his name again?
See, we don't even know his name. So I mean, you want to talk about him? One of the best. And it's because we don't recognize their accomplishments over in Japan because those aren't. I'm sorry, they're just lesser leagues and they're lesser promotions.
That's why. That's
you talking about Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah.
Ohtani. Yeah. That's the one. That one. Yeah. I mean, isn't he the best player overall? He's one of the best pitchers and batsmen, man.
No,
he can do it all.
Well, Aaron Judge.
Say batsman.
Yeah,
that's what we say down here. Well,
for cricket,
I'm using cricket's freaking terminology here.
Yeah. Is your pitcher throwing underhand and bouncing it in front of the plate?
Oh, he hits a sixer.
You think I fucking hate cricket, man.
That's a sixer, folks.
Fuck cricket, straight up. I don't care. I don't follow it.
You care.
I don't care. I really don't care. I swear to God, I hate cricket.
No, you don't.
I don't mind playing it here and there when I was young, but I don't follow it. I don't care about it.
It's Jiminy Cricket.
No, yeah. But when it's played here, it's just all over the media when it's on. You know what I mean? Generally. But it's not the most popular game here.
Well, I mean, come on, Jimmy. I mean, you have the great names like Ricky Ponting.
How do you know? See, how do you know that, bro?
Who's the greatest?
How do you know that? Let's see, that's crazy.
Greg Chappelle. I don't know if you know who Greg Chappelle
is.
If
only he had a magical machine sitting in front of him.
I don't. I could have. I could Google it.
Know that shit. Greg Chappell is known as like one of the best ever cricketers here, apparently.
Adam Gilchrist.
He also, see, what the fuck is wrong with you, Ray?
I don't know. Listen, so we have.
That shit?
We have. I told you I'm from
No, no,
from
it's
fucking
crazy,
Australia. I'm from the Lower East
That's
Side of
bizarre.
Australia.
That is bizarre, bro. Straight
How
up.
bizarre. How bizarre. One of my favorite. Anyway. All right, let's move along because the vet's getting angry. I was going to do it anyway. We spent too much time on this.
Yeah.
So we get a all right. So Asuka says, "I'm going to kill you." Nobody ready for Asuka. We get Gunther. We get a recap of Gunther winning the world title. Gunther is shown backstage looking cool as a cucumber. We have Liv Morgan who goes into the Judgment League clubhouse with Raquel just like licking her wounds, as is written here. Raquel says she's not cleared to do anything. I can't help you out there. And then Dominic's like, "Wait, Juanita," and she's like, "No, I'm gonna go. Leave me alone, you fucking idiot." And she goes off, and then Roxanne Perez is standing there and looking like a little snack. We have Gunther who makes his entrance, folks. And Gunther, like the true world champion, the ring, comes to the ring, cuts a fantastic promo, and enter Bill Goldberg to a huge ovation. Fans going crazy. This guy, Goldberg, from the moment he goes to the ring, this guy started off dry, ended up in the ring like just fucking gassed to the gills.
Fucking sweaty was he?
He was
man?
gassed out. I mean, Jesus Christmas. And Bill Goldberg, he says, "I want to, I'll make it real quick." Basically, Bill Goldberg's like, "I want to give you all the credit in the world. You're a great champion, but it's all about me. I'm Goldberg. You're next. Fuck off. I'm beating you at Saturday Night's Main Event. And I'm going to be the oldest world heavyweight champion in the history of wrestling."
He would be, actually.
Well, Jimmy, let's talk about it then. So we get Goldberg who comes into the ring, and he, first and foremost, why are people cheering this guy? That's a serious
bizarre,
question.
Dude. It is bizarre. I mean, look, I'll give him this. We don't need Goldberg, first of all, anymore in 2025, but for his age, he does look pretty jacked still, man.
That's funny.
I know, right? I was hoping that, but unfortunately, we're getting it in Atlanta instead. And that's another key
Saudi
question.
Arabia.
I was hoping it was going to be. I mean, what's the chances of, Gunther, if you know what I mean, and Goldberg, who's Jewish? I mean, come on.
Is he?
Oh,
Shocker.
you could have fooled me with that name, right? Is Whoopi Goldberg Jewish?
Who cares? What's going on here with Goldberg, please? Can you answer my damn
As
question?
far as Goldberg
Why are they
goes,
cheering him?
Because he is over. I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand
He's
this.
a
It's
legend.
nostalgia. He is a legend. He is totally over. I was on this show with you guys, maybe over 5 weeks, maybe 5 weeks ago, when I had pitched the perfect scenario to bring him back there, to get him involved, to save Pat McAfee during his match with Gunther. That's where they should have set this thing up. Then it wouldn't need a title. They wouldn't have had to pivot anything with Jay. You could have just had a one-on-one personal program between those two. They had the teaser going back from before when they had the interaction. You're going into Atlanta, where Green Bay was hot for Goldberg. Atlanta is going to be, they're going to live up to it.
That's
Hot
Goldberg
Atlanta.
country, Rick.
That's
Yeah.
Goldberg country. They are going to be eating it up. Now, I didn't think, last night we're anticipating the arrival of Goldberg. I thought one of the biggest mistakes was, how do you not do the entrance, the full entrance? That's part of it. But then seeing how gassed he was just walking from Gorilla to the ring in Atlanta, bigger stadium, they're going to need to go down to the warehouse, the hidden WWE lost treasures, to find one of those. Remember the old WrestleMania carts? He's going to need one of those to wheel him down there if he's going to wrestle a match.
The old
God damn, that dude was blown up. He was sweating buckets, but he still brings that energy. The crowd still eats it up, so that general audience is still hungry for more. Who's next? Gunther's next. I do want to ask you guys this, though, because I think, again, what people are freaking out about is, do they actually do this? Did they pull the trigger and put this belt on him?
Okay, I want to chime in.
Yeah, before. But it's in Atlanta, though, guys. They might just bury WCW all over again, right?
All right, hold on. Let me just give a quick shout out to Cold Blooded, who jumped in the chat league, Kenny F. Empowers, and of course, Matt Schaffer, Gage, 12 Gauge. Big shout out to you boys. What's up, Maddie? So I think, hear me out. I honestly think that they're gonna have fucking Gunther squash this dude. I think they're gonna have Gunther squash this dude, and I think that Goldberg's gonna do the right thing, and he's gonna go out on his back. This is his last match, right? Apparently in Atlanta, he says, he even said it. He says it started in Atlanta, and I don't know if you realize how he emphasized on, and it ends in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't think he wins. I think he goes out.
He shouldn't win. If that's
and
I
I think
last match, then he shouldn't
You
win.
think maybe he hits the spear for the big pop, sets up for the jackhammer, and gets reversed into a submission or something?
Into a sleeper.
Or wait a minute. Or does he win and then Rollins comes out, cashes in, gets the belt right off him? It's got to be something like that even.
Oh my God, I didn't think about that one. What do you think, chat? Do you think that Goldberg wins, flash win with the spear, the jackhammer, and fucking Seth Rollins comes in, the boys come in, they beat the shot at Goldberg, and he gets the pin?
That's a lot of overbooking.
Isn't it?
You think so? I mean, not really.
I don't know, Jimmy.
If it's his last match, that way you could celebrate.
Well, and they do have a deal where isn't Goldberg's son starting to train and all that?
Yeah.
That's apparently true too. And he looks jacked. Have you guys seen him lately?
Yeah, if he's anything like his father, he's gonna suck. All right, so let's jump into the next match. We got AJ Styles versus JD McDonough. And listen, you're not gonna get a bad match out of these two guys. And by the way, I have to put over the fact that JD McDonough physically looks amazing. I think he looks fantastic. He's gained some muscle. He looks great. And they had a nice little match between the two boys, and I love the way JD sold the Styles clash. AJ Styles does win. As much as Dirty Dom tried to cheat, he cheated a whole bunch. But guess what, folks? He didn't win because cheaters never prosper. After the match, we have AJ Styles who goes after Dirty Dom, and then Finn Balor comes out to make the save. But then AJ Styles basically beats him up, and he holds the Intercontinental Championship. Not only that, they surround the ring. They surrounded the ring to get that IC title out of AJ Styles' hands, but no. AJ Styles is apparently not only a veteran of the ring, but he's also a thief. He steals the Intercontinental Championship belt, and he runs away with it. We'll see it later on in the evening. Any thoughts on this match, folks, as we're going to move this along a little faster?
Big accusations there for Big Ray calling thief. I think it's AJ Styles knowing that he is the crafty veterans one step ahead of Judgment Day, adding some little flavor. They're not going to get away with their usual bullying antics here. AJ's got the upper hand. Overall in this thing, I do appreciate the just subtle snarkiness of Finn Balor in all the vignettes and things that they're doing here.
I love that too. I agree.
Yeah, Matt is
but as far as
reminding
the
us.
match goes, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, good, Jimmy.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the thing that bothered me about this though, even though AJ, took the belt with him, it felt like Dom didn't even care. It was almost like,
no, he cared.
It's cool. I don't mind him holding the
eyes.
belt. And he just didn't.
But what's he going to do? That's not Dom's character to run after him.
No, but at least be that chicken shit. He'll, sell it. Like, run around the ring and put his hands on his head or whatever. Something like that.
Well, I'll give you that.
He didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cheesy shit. I know it's cheesy, but at least,
I just want to put over Sonic the Hedgehog, who jumped in here late, and also Matt wants to remember that the Impact Attack is now on channelattitude.com, and you can check it out right after we're done with Raw here. So
go listen to it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So all right, so we go backstage. We got Alpha Academy with Sheamus, and Natalia's back there, and the other girl, there's two blonde girls, and Akira Tozawa, and he's like, "You'll kick his ass." So all right, so. Bayley walks by looking like a little snack there. Back from commercial, we see football. What is this football gimmick Schnabis guy? He's in the crowd. Who is that there, Rick?
I know you're talking about, but I have no idea.
One of the Packers dudes. Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
How would they say it in Australia? Footballer.
Football, man.
A footballer.
Yeah, not footballer like you're saying.
Footy.
Yeah, footy. We call it footy, but that's true.
I know you do.
Another one.
I didn't Google that either. Anyway,
hey mate, would you go catch the footy?
The footy, that's it.
Check this out, folks. Bayley comes out, and I don't know what's going on here. Bayley looks to be getting in really great shape as well. If you look,
are you being sarcastic?
No. Rewatch that video. She's got the old 6-pack coming on now. Like she was good, but I thought she cut a really good fucking promo. I thought it was on the money. She basically talked about being robbed at WrestleMania. She was very passionate, very real. It wasn't a super long promo. And she called out Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch came out. And I really liked the back and forth between these two girls. And basically, it ends up with Bayley's getting challenged for that IC title. Will it be official? We're gonna find out. Excuse me, guys.
For
Rick,
when?
any thoughts?
Saudi Arabia or Saturday night event?
I guess we'll find out.
No, actually. So, all right, we got to keep booking everything here. But again, going back to that first segment, we were talking about the talking. This thing, man, I had trouble getting through this.
Oh,
this is where I almost jumped the shark on this episode.
I don't.
Yeah, me too.
Please don't. I'm sorry. I do have to say I agree with you, Cold Blooded. There was a part where Bayley's like, "Yeah, everybody's singing my song." Nobody was singing her song.
I hear you trying to sing for me, and then she does this like awkward pause to try to give them this moment. To me, it was too much of the pandering there. Instead of coming out with the fire that she should have had here.
That's true.
She should be determined to.
You know
get
what? You're
back
right.
at Becky.
This promo sucked. You're right.
She was way too chilled. Way too chilled.
And then,
oh no,
then you have Becky come out. Which, and I know she is getting better at certain things, but God, some of these promos, and it's always with her. She sounds like that deaf comedian from the 80s, but it has like a mouthful of marbles when everything that she's going. And now these two are just bickering back and forth with each other when they can just get absolutely to the point. And again, Bayley. And I know Bayley, she's trying to drive that point home. It's just not about WrestleMania. I do this for every day. I do this for shows and moments like this.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I don't care. Come on. We all know what WrestleMania means. And that moment was stolen from you with these two right now, with their history and, fighting to be at the top. We were talking about who's going to be in those conversations at the best. The horsewomen all think that they should be there. This should be more on site. Let's go. And finally, we do get a little interaction in on it. But yeah, so we do have the match set up, but it's going to be next week here in the great state of the OHIO, Columbus, Ohio, for Monday Night Raw.
I kid you not, Rick, man. I'm 100% in agreement with you. But by the time Becky Lynch came out, I kid you not, I was just staring at it and not even hearing what was going on. I'm just looking at it. Like,
staring at what?
Exactly.
You just zoned out, and it makes it so different. Like you're thinking about just bailing on the show.
Yeah, it zoned me out. No shit. Like that moment, especially when Becky came out after that, I was just zoned out from it. That's
actually that was the moment, because then and it's one of the things that I don't like with live wrestling on streaming with Netflix, because you don't have the freedom anymore to flip away. So you got to go through this whole process. So I left Netflix, left Raw, went and watched some of the NBA finals, and then was like, oh shit, I got to go back and finish watching that.
100%.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it is what it is.
And I guess just we'll throw it in there. We get that little interaction with Bird Girl later with Bayley. Like, well, you got to do what you got to do. And if you win that belt, I got to do what I got to do.
Speaking of NBA,
let's be real, guys.
Speaking of NBA finals, Tyrese Halliburton with only 4 points last night, choking on the.
After a great comeback here in the NBA finals, he's just getting ready to go challenge Chestnut up there at Coney Island for the hot dog eating contest.
Perfectly.
He's a fucking idiot. Him and his old man are both idiots, straight up. I just want to say
his old man looks like the drunk guy at the corner store telling you not to be like him when he grows up.
His old man needs to shut up. Both of them need to shut up, especially when he did that choking fucking thing. What was it, game 2? Game 1?
It was game 1.
Chill the fuck out, bro.
You know anyway, all right, so we get that, and yes, she says she's backstage, and she says she's got to do what she's got to do. Bird Girl says it. Who cares? All right, so we get Gunther backstage, and whatever. We get Rusev shadow boxing. We get Kairi Sane doing whatever she does. We get back from commercial break. We got AJ Styles. He returns the Intercontinental Championship that he stole to Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis says, "Hey, for stealing this, you're gonna get a title shot at Night of Champions." Bayley rolls up on Nick, and she says she wants a match too, and then like Rick just said. He says that she's going to get a title shot as well. So that's awesome. Bayley is all right. So anyway, Kairi Sane versus Liv Morgan. And folks, it was was it a drop down toe hold? Was it a dragon screw? Something happened. I forgot.
She took a drop down toe hold. I'm pretty sure.
On that. So for those that that, the vet says it all the time. You can get hurt on anything. And this young lady took that front face bump, weird. She, instead of landing flat, she kind of just tried to brace herself with her elbows. And as soon as that
put
happened,
her hands out type of thing.
right. As soon as that as soon as it happened and she rolled herself out of the ring, I said, oh no. Like, I knew something was wrong. And WWE did a great job. They cut away immediately. They went to commercial break, cut a promo, and then they let us know that she did suffer a dislocated shoulder. So, I don't necessarily know. I don't know if one of you boys can find out information regarding how severe her dislocated shoulder is, how long does it take to come back from that thing? Does anybody know? It
all depends, man. Because has she done ligament damage also, say?
It doesn't. I can't find anything here. Just that she has the dislocated shoulder, and I don't know.
I'll look and see if there's any.
Yeah, if anything comes up, let me know. All right, let us know here.
All right.
But Rick, when this happened, Rick immediately called me, sobbing, almost crying last night.
Heartbroken, destroyed.
And I was like, what are you babbling about? He's like,
mentally broken.
And I was like, shut up, bro. What's wrong? And then he hung up the phone. He said, I just can't talk right now. Remember that last night?
I did.
Your thoughts on this unfortunate situation with Liv, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you just overanalyze it. It's, as we all know, injury can happen at any time in the ring on the simplest of things. When I think dangerous, I've seen some people like, oh, this is the second person that's been hurt here with Sane back in the ring. I don't think there's any blame here.
It's not Kairi Sane's fault.
I would say hat tip to Liv to realize something was immediately wrong and not try to push on to further hurt anything. As Jimmy is saying, if it's just that separated, dislocated shoulder, hopefully it's just a short heal time. She can be back on television regularly, not miss out on anything that they had big planned for her at Evolution. But hopefully she didn't actually tear anything in it. It's going to require an extended a surgery, an extended shelf time. Even if it is, I would encourage them, find something for Liv to do. We have seen, no pun intended here, the evolution of a true superstar for them. We've watched her go from a girl to a woman, figuring it out. Her character, her in-ring work, getting everything over. It could, if she is on the shelf for an extended period of time here, it could be some kind of blessing. I'm going to kind of relate it to an AEW scenario going back a couple years ago when the hottest thing on their television was Britt Baker in a wheelchair.
True.
Yeah. Who didn't have to get out there and do those bumps and doing everything that everybody else was doing, who used character work to get over. And I think Liv is to that point where she could still help out the product, still move things forward, even if she can't go in the ring.
Right. And she can be the Carlito. She can play the Carlito role right now for Judgment Day, for example, where he just wasn't doing anything, but just there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She can just still be part of the crew, just not actually wrestle.
I would get her away from the Judgment Day. I would go in a different direction. I think there's a lot that she can do, though.
But if she doesn't show up on television and she's out for, say, up to 16 weeks, then I can see that happening.
Yeah, but I agree with Rick. I think she's a character. So she's kind of like the defunct leader of this group. She can call shots and shit like that. So we'll see.
She's doing a lot of things elsewhere for PR. She's showing up at a lot of other events. She's doing a lot of crossover stuff.
How about this, boys? How about, look, we have an injured Liv Morgan, right? So now what happens? Now we can actually feed into this whole thing. What's the little Asian girl's name again?
Yeah, Sky.
No.
Kairi Sane?
No, the one from Judgment Day.
Little Asian. She's not Asian.
She's Asian, whatever, Filipino, whatever the hell, Mexican. What is she?
What's it called?
No, she's like you.
What's it called, man? Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne. Okay, so hear me out, folks, all right? Tell me if I'm crazy. Why don't we have Roxanne Perez now, since Liv is injured in real life, start taking these moments from Liv?
That's what you do. You do
take
that for
these,
sure.
Give her the matches that Liv was supposed to. And not only that, but we can have Dirty Dom, who should be taking care of his girlfriend, Liv, right? And he seems to start paying more and more attention to to Roxanne Perez. And we can build throughout this injury time more animosity between these two girls to a point where Roxanne Perez is starting to kind of like go up above Liv Morgan, and Liv can't do anything about it because she's hurt.
I personally, I know you don't have a plan for the injury, but you got to be able to work on the fly. You have got to be able to stay liquid in professional wrestling, be able to move, be able to adjust. I'm surprised because we saw Roxanne in her gear immediately get her ass through Gorilla, get her out there to the ring and have an impromptu match. Then you're setting the stage again where Liv can get kind of pissed and then have the match get thrown out. If you don't want to have somebody, have, Roxanne eating a pin or something like that, or Kairi, you could just do a double count out, double disqualification, something real quick. But you're like you're saying, Ray, now you got Liv who could be a little more pissed. Like, wait a minute, like I'm out there hurt. That's my spotlight, my time. I'm hurt, and you just and then you got Finn sitting there with his little smirk, like, well, she stepped up. She stepped up for the team. She was, just kind of adding to that he's been doing.
Yeah, just
I think
a little bit.
not being able to call that on the fly and see an opportunity when it is presented to you, that was kind of a letdown from WWE. But but H and those guys, Triple H, as Jimmy would say, he's the creative genius back there.
You said H, not
I have to correct Elizabeth. She is not Hispanic. She is Latinx.
She's Hispanic.
She's Latinx.
What's that? What's Latin?
Exactly.
What's Latinx?
All right. So backstage, back from commercial, we get an update on Liv Morgan. Like I said, we have Sami Zayn backstage being interviewed, and Karrion Kross comes in doing the whole gimmick where he's kind of like, the devil on the shoulder. And basically he gets under Sami Zayn's skin, and Sami Zayn's like, you know what? When I'm done with this King of the Ring shit, I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm hoping, I hope, because, Karrion Kross is on TV and the place explodes every week. Maybe this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Maybe this is something they're going to finally give Karrion Kross something to go with. We're at the main event. So is anything you want to say about this little promo here between these two boys?
Yeah, Rick.
I guess with the HMG, everybody knows our love for Kross. Great to just see him getting that airtime. But now we're setting up matches for next week's Raw. We're setting up matches for Saudi. We're setting up matches for Atlanta. And now we're setting up matches for we don't even know when.
Yeah, that's actually
long-term storytelling, folks.
Yes.
There's a lot going on, too much going on. That's for sure.
You know what? Real quick, Kross delivering so well here. A lot of the same from Sammy. I just,
You're over him, aren't you? He's too much of a bum for your liking, right, Rick?
Right. You just sit in the back. You just sit in the back and cry, but I get up and go do it every day. Well, as Ray said before, what a loser.
What a loser. What a piece of shit.
Sami Zayn might have been the dude that sent that puppet to Rusev. That's the levels of loserdom that he is at.
Jesus, what a fucking mark.
Maybe he needs to come back as El Generico. If that was him, apparently. Allegedly.
Bronson Reed versus main event Jey Uso versus Rusev versus Sheamus, King of the Ring, first round match. There's a fatal 4-way, folks. Say that 4 times fast. Fatal 4-way, 4 times fast. Fatal 4-way. I can't say it. Okay, so this is it, folks. The main event of the evening, and I'm gonna skip through a whole bunch of shit. We could just talk about it. We could talk about all the craziness that went. I mean, people getting thrown through tables. Tables not breaking. They fix those tables. I had said it. They gimmick them. They gimmick the tables now. You have to have one of the crew members actually pull out like a little thing that the table can fall apart. They made anyway.
Like a pop pin.
Yeah, like a pop
it's
pin.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, they have a pop pin.
Don't hire that guy from AEW. He'll sue you.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Listen. I just want to ask you guys who stuck out to you in this match. I mean, Jey Uso, he does win. And there was a whole bunch of shit. I mean, we had fucking Bronson Reed come out. We had Braun Breaker come out. Everybody came. I
thought this was the go home for the Royal Rumble. We had so many people running out.
Oh my God, Goldberg was out there. I'm talking about like a fucking dude. Everybody came out. I mean, we had Haku. We had goddamn fucking.
Harley Race came back.
Yeah. Andre the Giant from the dead. I mean, everybody came out. This was a fucking great match, man. I love the way the show went off the air. Why was I disappointed that fucking Jey Uso won? I don't know.
Because he shouldn't have won.
I
Why?
know. I wanted
I was
Bronson
glancing
Reed.
towards Bronson somehow.
Me too. I wanted Bronson Reed to go over, and even fucking Rusev to go over fucking.
Forget Rusev. He's
I
already.
know.
He's done, bro.
Yes,
He's
Barry
just-
Horowitz was there. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
The
Yes.
Brooklyn Brawler even turned up.
I'm sorry, Frank Spiegelberg, to inform you, but yes, Jey Uso wins this match. All right, so I'll go with Jimmy first, then we'll go with Rick. Let's do that. Jimmy, anything that stuck out to you during this match? So Jey Uso, he is going on to the King of the Ring tournament. So your thoughts, and then we'll talk about what happened. I'm sorry, and then we'll talk about what happened after the match. After this match.
Talking about sticking out, Ray. See, you know how Jay was selling that he was hurt with the bandage around his waist. I thought there's the excuse of why he's not winning.
Right.
But like you said, nope, we got Jey Uso winning. Excuse me. And I am disappointed, man, because I feel like they're doing this as a I'm sorry sort of what's that word?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Consolation
like
prize.
a runner-up prize.
Consolation.
Prize.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And that's what I think.
Rikishi bitching, right? Yeah.
Oh, and that, see, he needs to shut up bad.
No, I like Rikishi.
If he understood, Rikishi thinks he understands pro wrestling, but clearly he doesn't. The reason why they took the belt off him was to set
Kind
up
of
this
in the business
Goldberg
for like
crap.
30 years.
I'm gonna say,
I know, but you think he would?
I'm
figure
not
that
gonna
shit
go
out.
out. I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say that Rikishi probably knows more about professional wrestling than all of us put together. But
You're right, but then you would have thought he would have figured about the whole Goldberg situation. Do you know what I mean? That's why Gunther is the champion.
well, he also knows how to politic and bitch and get things done as well.
Well,
look
if he
out for
keeps going, it's going to backfire on his own son. And if I was his son, I'd be absolutely embarrassed, straight up, that my dad is sitting there saying all that crap. I would be.
Unless
I would
Jimmy's
seriously be embarrassed.
Unless you ever thought the fact that maybe Jimmy tells his dad, "Hey, Dad,
What
can
Jimmy?
you
He
say
doesn't
this
even
for me?"
mention Jimmy's name.
Jay, I
which
mean
is
Jay,
sad.
whatever. You think Jay can fucking go? Maybe he's like, "Dad, listen, I can't say this. This is how I feel. Can you say this on your podcast and make it go viral?"
Who knows? If that's the case, then Jesus Christ, man.
And the controversy is going to create cash there for Rikishi. But gentlemen, inside this match here, this is kind of, there was less intrigue about the winner here than at least the women's opener, where you had, could it be Stephanie? Could it be Asuka? The clear-cut decision here is Jay. Now it's how do we get there? And again, like I said, it's reminded me of a go home for a Rumble. They throw everybody out there. Everybody's got to get their shine, get a piece of this thing. Because that's the story. Jay trying to get back to that moment. But my main question is, why? Why? Jay just lost a title match. Isn't he entitled to a rematch? Isn't that a clause that's built into most of these contracts? Why is it that Jay...
Allegedly.
So it worked for Gunther, got a rematch from WrestleMania. Jay doesn't get one. Now Jay must go through this daunting route of going through the King of the Ring tournament to get an opportunity. The same with Cody Rhodes. He is in the King of the Ring tournament. He was never granted a rematch clause from WrestleMania.
It's true.
But Gunther is. So it's the lack of it. But we got a lot of babies going head to head here in this King of the Ring. So next week in Columbus, you do, as Ray said, we'll get to it there. But now we've got the former tag team champions, the Friends, squaring off with one another in Cody and Jay for that spot to go to Night of Champions in the finals.
And I think we were saying, I can't remember which show it was, but I'm pretty sure we were all saying that's what was going to happen, like in this tournament, and that's what we're getting.
Yeah, I mean, we got fucking Sane, we got Penta that came out. Like, there's just so much going on, so many stories being written. But then the main event of the main event was Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes coming out to make the save. And then we have that moment where Cody Rhodes is face-to-face with Jey Uso. Did we forget that Cody Rhodes... Wait, is Cody Rhodes in this fucking King of the Ring gimmick?
Yeah, it's next Monday. It's going to be Cody and Jey.
Hello. The winner of the King of the Ring gets a SummerSlam World Heavyweight title fight. So who says Cody Rhodes ain't going to win this whole shit?
So, well, you got Cody and Jey over here on this side. And then you got Sammy and Orton this Friday over on the other side of the bracket. So storytelling wise, I'm guessing that the enticing finals would well, you got Orton Cody, or do you do Sammy and Jey? I mean,
that's good. They say that's a good. Actually, the way they did that is actually quite good, because either you can go either way, like literally, and it's still keeping with story as well, which is quite smart.
My question is, when is Ilya Dragunov coming back?
Oh God, is he like actually not injured anymore? Is he healthy now?
I thought he got fired.
Nah,
No,
he
he's
hasn't
still there,
yet.
unfortunately.
Now, overall though, just throw it here real quick. I mean, how cool would it have been though? We're looking forward to this big weekend in Atlanta. You could have made it a King and Queen weekend where on Saturday night's main event, you could have had the King of the Ring tournament. Saturday at Evolution, you could have had the Queen tournament. We got all these big players here that we had seen during this match. If you had 8 guys in a one-night tournament, that would have been a lot of fun.
I know, but they don't think. They want to drain our lives.
And by the way, I have no idea why I thought of Ilya Dragunov. He just popped into my head, literally.
I've thought about him too recently, actually, right? And it has been over a
When
year
you're up
now.
late at night.
I'm like, oh, I want me some Ilya.
Yes.
What is this? I don't know why I'm going to bring this up, but I just saw Tony Khan posted something. I don't know what he's going to say. Why don't we listen to it together while we while we go off the air here. I just saw this. I always check X before we leave just in case anything popped, and I see this fucking face. Let's see what, let's just see what he has to say. Ready? All right, folks, this is Tony Khan. Let's see. Yeah, here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm at the Cannes Lion Film Festival here, and it's a Cannes Lion Ad Fest here. I'm in Nice, France. It's beautiful back here, as you can see, and I just wanted to share it with all of you. A lot of AEW fans all over the world, and it's great being here in Europe ahead of a huge week for AEW in Mexico. Tonight I'll be making the long trek from Cannes, France to Mexico for Mexico City, AEW's debut in Mexico, in Arena, Mexico, the cathedral of pro wrestling. I'm really excited about the show, and there's a lot of great things happening around AEW, and I'm here now in Cannes, France.
Okay, I can't listen to this fucking guy.
He really is autistic, man.
I tried. Jimmy, what we got going on, buddy, as we get the fuck out of here?
God, that put me to sleep straight up. You can't talk to shit. But what we do have this week, of course, go check out Direct Edge with myself and the Vet, where we actually recorded that yesterday. I believe it's still up on YouTube right now, I believe. And also the Smack Attack with myself, MSG, and
Jimmy! Ricky!
And I just gave all the hype to the shows. So yeah, Rick, you'll be back this week, right?
I did want to let you know that unfortunately, I was going to let you know we go off air here. I will not be open this weekend, as I just got some big news this morning. I got the opportunity. I'll be calling the DMP Awnings Nitro Chaos Series Thunder in the Park here in Cincinnati, which is going to be recorded for television. So I'll be doing the call for that, which would be very cool. And I do want to plug next Saturday, the 28th, while WWE is over in the Sane land over in Saudi. I will be hosting the pre-show for a free show here in Cincinnati, hosted by OVW. I'll be on the pre-show hosting Pro Wrestling Trivia.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fucking cool, man. Good for you.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the hot dog watch along will be coming at us on the 4th. So we got a lot here.
Is that 4th of July, obviously, for the hot dogs,
Yes.
right?
It'll be Friday, the 4th of July at high noon.
Hot dog eating contest on ESPN, no less. What the hell, man?
All right, well, let me just run through these shows here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we got the Impact Attack with Brandon and the Vet. You know, they're up right now. You can just check them out. Along with, of course, we said the Monday Locker Room again, Smack Attack, and, of course, the Wreckage. We mentioned that. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have our affiliate shows. We have Wrestling with Rip Rogers. We also have Limpin' Ain't Easy. And, of course, that's with Timmy Baltimore. And, of course, Stevie Richards with the Stevie Richards Show. And, of course, this week, the Pro Wrestling Reflection. They have a show. They took a week off, and they're going to come back, and they're going to do greatest heel turns. What are they talking about this week? Pro Wrestling's greatest heel turns. Jim Cornette betrays the Dynamic Dudes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So you can tune in maybe later tomorrow night. I'll have that up on Twitter in video form. The professor will have that up on the YouTube channel. And yeah, you can hear the podcast version on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anything you want to say, boys, before we get out of here? Because we're getting out of here. So, we're getting out of here. What are we doing? I got to poop. What are we doing?
Do it. Poop it.
Can I
poop.
poop? All right. All right, Jimmy, say goodbye. Say goodbye, Rick.
Goodbye. Hey, I just remembered the one time back on One Wrestling when they referred to you as the Puerto Rican Goldberg, Big Red.
All right, we're done. We're done, folks.
Nice.
Goodbye, folks.
What's your name, fella?
Triple H.
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
This is the Hustler F. Rogers. Yeah, it's fucking me. Yeah, and listen to the fucking Hamin Media Group. That's Ben Hamin Media Group from Rip Rogers. Go get him and go fuck yourself.
Poopy. I couldn't listen to another second of